Hi, I'm Loretta. Welcome. Happy you're here. It's a new year, and so I wanted to start off by saying or by asking you to please, during our sessions, take care of your own body. I know this sounds silly, but I really want to make sure that you don't I want to make sure that you don't hurt yourself in here. I also want to make sure that you get the most out of it, which means kind of pushing yourself to the limit a little, but not enough to hurt yourself. If there's ever any question, please just pull back. And if I'm ever doing something that isn't right for your body, just pick any other move that you really like and just do it until we're done with it. That's how I always got through things that were harder for me. Was if I couldn't do a downward dog, then I did a child's pose. If I could, just think of something that's easy for you that you can go into. And if it gives you the same energetics, that's a double bonus point. So if we're working our legs, try to pick something from the legs. If we're working our shoulders, pick something from the shoulders. You get the point. Anyway, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so glad to be back. We had a week off. You would have noticed it last week, not this one, because we're posting one yesterday. But I just wanted to tell you, thank you, because I'm having a lot of fun doing these, and it opens my heart, it makes me joyful. And so I really appreciate your participation and your coming to these classes. Thank you so much. So let's begin with our breath. And let's begin by taking, a few really deep breaths in. And let's just watch our breath and see what taking a deep breath in means to you. And see if you can't expand on that just a little by taking a little bit deeper breath in and a little bit longer exhale out. So let's begin with that. Deep inhale in. Exhale. Let your body feel the breath. It can start to create an aliveness in you if you can breathe deep enough and exhale as much as you can, because if you inhale and you don't exhale completely, you're keeping old breath inside of you where you could have new growth and new breath. And so that's why we say exhale so deeply as well. So let's go for a few really deep breaths here. If you want to exhale out your mouth, you can. Exhaling out your nose will give you a slower exhale, but sometimes you just need to get that air out. I just love breathing. I know that sounds silly, but I do. Now, the next deep inhale we take, let's exhale to the sound of Om together, please. So deep inhale. Spread your feet, hips width apart, and this is where you'll keep them for the practice for most of the time. You can take your fists, bring them down, put them in between your feet. That's approximately how wide you want them. And let's begin with our arms. So up and out and down, up and down. Here we go. Up and down. Because when we add our arms, then all of our breathing gets deeper and our chest gets involved and our heart gets involved. So it's always a good thing whenever you're doing anything to add your arms if you want your breath and your heart to be involved. Okay, now come on back up and out. Ooh, I love this one. Up and out. Let's do a few of these. Take your breath if you can. One more of these. Now let's go out and in, and out and in. Do a few of these. Let's get even here. One more. Okay, now take your hands, take your fingers and interlace them, turn them out, bring them straight out in front of you. Now I want you to really feel how this takes your shoulders out too. Push them as far as you can. And take your hands away from your body. Take a deep breath here. Now lift them. Lift them up and bring your head up. Now, if your head feels uncomfortable here, it's okay to look straight ahead, but keep your ears in between your arms. And do a couple of breaths here. One more deep breath here. And then you can let your arms come down. And let's take our arms flapping here. And what I'd like us to do on these is to bring them up and back, and up and back, and bring them up and back. Bring them together and back. A couple more of these, just to kind of get our arms loosened up. And then let them flow and bring them back down. And let's move to our shoulders. So let's begin with the up and down. And remember, you can crunch your neck when you bring it up, or squinch your neck, however you'd like to say that. Let's do a few more of these. I'm so glad to be back in here doing this class. I love it. Front and back. Front and back. Now this is a shoulder move, remember. Front and back. Two more. Last one. Front and back. Now let's roll our shoulders. We want to make sure we get our shoulders nice and loose here. And our neck. We don't want our neck to be feeling any pressure here at all. Two more on this side. Two more going this direction, rolling our shoulders. One more, this is it. Stop in the back and go frontwards. Do them in the opposite direction. Our goal is to loosen up every part of our body and let the breath flow through it evenly. One more here. Now take your hands and just put them together like this and bring one elbow up. And we're gonna just rock them back and forth. And just go back and forth, sliding our arms up and our elbows up. And this is really good for this part and under here. One more of these in each direction, and we can let that go. And let's look at how our head feels. How does our neck feel? Let's do a few infinities, which is an 8 on its side. Use your nose to draw it. And let's just draw a few infinity circles here. Make sure our neck is loose. Okay, now come on back to the center. Shake your head no a little. If we really want to get into this, shake your head a lot. Shake your head no a lot. See how good it feels? Say no, 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 no. And then come on back to center and say yes, yes, yes. And you can shake your head yes a lot, or nod your head yes a lot too. And we're just doing this for movement. Come on back to center when you're finished with that movement. A little bit more no. Now, how does your neck feel? Do a couple of infinity circles. And then come on back to center. How does it feel? Okay, do we need to, well, we'll do it at the end. We'll check out our neck at the very end and make sure that when we leave here, our neck is absolutely loosened from everything. Right now, my neck feels pretty good. So to put more energy into working on our neck right at this second, I think I'd rather wait. So let's come on down and let's take our hands, move them from side to side, gentle kidney taps. Just moving the energy. Bring your hands to a stop. Put your left hand on your right knee. Lift your right arm straight out. Now this we're doing for the turns and the twists. So remember, keep your head free and open, no tension. And what I'm gonna say is that the way I particularly do this, whenever I'm in things that my head could be compromised, so to speak, my neck could be compromised, I actually just think about something that I really love, and it gives my neck the absolute looseness it needs to complete everything. So let's take 3 really strong twists here and see where we're at. So deep breath in and twist. One more. Now take a deep breath in and come on back to center. And come to the other side. Right hand on left knee. Left hand out. Deep breath in, happy thoughts. And turn. One more deep breath in. And let it all go and come back to center. And while we're here, let's go ahead and take our arms straight out. Drop your right arm to the side, left arm up. We're going to just take a few alternating sides here. Back and forth a few times. And you can drop your arm down to the side of your chair. That's where I'm putting this one. Okay, on the next one up, let's raise the arm, bring it next to the ear, and bend to the side. You can look under your armpit, keep your heart open, keep yourself displayed. The upper part of your body is wide open. You're bending to the side. You've got that wide line of energy that's floating up the side of your body. From your foot all the way up, through, all the way, opening all the way up. Try to feel how that feels. Take 2 breaths here. One more deep breath. And then come on back to the other side. Dropping this side down, this side up. Feel the line of energy. Sit up straight and then bend to the side. Heart open, chin tucked, looking under your arm, feeling the breath. 2 more deep breaths here. Last one. And come on back over. And from there, let's take our cat-cow. Now, I wanted to show you something about cat-cow. I'm going to show you, I hope you can see this on the floor. I think you can. In a regular yoga pose, cat-cow is done like this. You'd say, cat with your spine all the way up, cow, cat, it's a spinal move, cow. So when we're sitting in the chair, it's the same thing. We're using our spine. Put your hands on your knees, and we'll go into the cat first, which brings your shoulders in and your stomach tucks and you're ducking your chin and then coming out to the cow. Now remember, this is a spinal move. So it involves your torso as opposed to when we did our shoulder movements where it did not involve our spine. It was our shoulders only. Hope this is making sense. I just thought about a few things I really wanted to say to you guys. This is one of them. One more. And come on back to center. And let's take a few of my goddess circles where feet are flat, hands are on knees. You come around. This is a rib motion and a spinal motion. So it's coming around to the side, to the front, to the side, to the back. And we're just going to take 3 of these. So let's make this 1, 2, 3. And come on back to the back, and we're going to go the other direction. 1. I don't need to count these for you. And now we're on our last one. Come on all the way around. This is number 3. And come on back. Sit up straight. Now, one of the goals of yoga is to always maintain your posture if you can. So keep an alert spine, which I always think is a good word for it, because you want your spine to be aware of what's going on so that when it's affected, it can produce the strength you need to do whatever else it is in your life that you're doing with your body. And that might sound a little weird, but as you build your spine, you're building your core. And the stronger your spine is, the stronger your stomach becomes, the stronger your ribs become. Everything is connected. And so when you work on one part, you work on all parts. So having said that, let's take our legs, spread them apart. We're gonna do the goddess squat, which is putting your heels, and spread your legs about the width of your chair. Your heels are pointed in, your toes are pointed out. Now, remember, push your legs out. This is opening our glutes and the insides of our thighs. So go ahead and push that out, making sure you've got a nice stretch there. Then raise your arms and point them forward, making sure that they're basically, that your shoulder blades are feeling each other. That's how far back I want you to put your hands. Now sit up straight with your posture and take some deep breaths in and maintain this pose for a few breaths. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last one. And bring your arms together. Come on back. And while we're here and our feet are spread apart, turn them in just so that your feet are pointed forward. Your legs are still chair's width apart, as in the chair legs. And let's take a forward fold by using the roll down, which means tuck your chin and roll down each vertebrae of your spine until you hit your lap, and then you can release your arms and go down further. So deep breath in, tuck your chin, roll down your spine till you hit your lap, and drop your hands. Bring them to your feet. Now, if you can't bring them to your feet, that's okay. Just come down as far as you can and take your elbows and push your legs out right above your knees so that the upper part of your body is still maintaining that stretch. Then bring your hands down and place your folded knuckle fist on the floor. While you're maintaining your leg distance, now drop your chin and just feel this stretch. And then put your hands flat on the ground if you can. You'll feel it even more. Keeping your legs wide apart though. Excuse me. Walk your hands to your feet and roll back up using your spine so that your head is the very last thing that comes back up. Okay, bring your feet back together. Keeping them hips width apart now. We're going to do a bridge. I'm going to do it from the side. You do it from the front. Feet or hips width apart, a little bit further. Make sure that your knees are over your ankles. Take your hands to the back. First, we're going to do 3 pelvic tilts. Now, if you have trouble with the bridge, what I'd like you to do is just continue doing a couple extra pelvic tilts until your body feels like it's had enough, but you've moved the bottom part of you. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Now the next one up, stay up. Come on back up and make a bridge out of your body. And breathe. Stay here for 3 breaths. Last breath. And come on back down. And take your right leg, place it over your left knee, and sit on the edge of your chair. We're going to do a forward fold over it and come down as far as you can, as comfortable as you can. But what I'd like us to do is start opening up our glutes and the inside of our legs. So you're going to feel this in a lot of places. So take a deep breath in and then hinge at the waist, or hinge at the hips. Yeah, hinge at the hips, deep breath in. You know, you can keep your hands gently on your body if you like. And fold. And breathe. Now, if your body doesn't allow you to do this, you can put your foot down here and fold and breathe. You'll get something out of it. If your hips aren't working as well for you as they could be, keep your legs lower. Okay, I'm going to take this for me one more time from the top. And hinging. And then drop your arms if you can. And feel the stretch all the way through. And breathe. And then come on back up. Keeping the same leg up, I'm going to open my hip. And I'm just going to use my foot and my arm to open the hip, spreading it out, making sure nothing got overextended on that move. Bring it back. Put your hands, fold them into like a little, well, hold it with your hands and just let it go. Okay, now we're going to point and flex. Point and flex. One more. And then circle. Circle clockwise. One more. Circle the other direction. And then gently let your leg hang and set it on the floor. Bring up your other leg. Put your ankle over your knee. Make sure you're sitting on the edge of your chair. Sit up straight. Take a deep breath in and hinge at the hips. And breathe. And if you'd like, go ahead and drop your arms. For 2 more breaths. And then come on back up. With your head being the last thing to make it. Form your little, take your hands, you're going to bring them out. Bring it out. You're going to open that hip up. Open. One more. And then take your hands and fold them under your knee. Let it drop. You're going to point and flex. Point and flex. One more. And then circles. And then when you're done with that direction, go the other way. And let your leg hang limp and bring your foot down to the floor. How you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Let's just take, just for a little bit more of a leg opener, put your feet together and start spreading your legs with your hands. And this is for people who have trouble with the higher position. This might work a little better for you, although it isn't nearly as effective in terms of opening those hips up, but it does help. So bring it back to center and let's stand up. Okay, I want us to do the warrior poses just because I think they're really good for opening us up. So go ahead and bring your feet to the side of your chair. Step back with the foot that's closest to the chair. All right, you can point your foot out a little bit, bend your knee over the front foot. Warrior one, we're gonna raise our arms, okay? Get your balance, raise your arms, come back. Now remember, the energetics of this is that you're pushing from the rear leg, pushing from this foot, coming up out of the ground, reaching back, saying, yes, what can I do for you? Somebody has called him present. Okay, here I am. Bring it down. This is the humble warrior. Bring your arms back. Bring one hand to a chair if you need to. Bring your arms back, or if you want to fold them in the back, make sure that they're folded completely together. In other words, they look like this, not like this. Okay, so if you're going to bring them back, do that, or you can leave them straight out. And this is where he tells them what he wants them to do. He says, be my warrior. Okay, I will. Warrior two. Foot is still back out. Your front foot can be moved out a little bit more. Leave yourself plenty of room for your hips and your pelvic floor to bend. Now, we're facing the side of the chair for this one. Your front foot can come out a little bit further than it did before because you want your knee to be over your second two toes. This is how it is. Put your feet first. Line up your heels if you can with the front and the back. Then your pelvic floor is facing your chair. Then raise your arms, get your arms involved, and turn your head and breathe. Now, holding this position builds strength and endurance. And it's actually an archer position. So he is a warrior. He actually can pull his bow back and fire. That's what this is about. You're aiming, you're getting prepared to let loose a volley of arrows. And then the person who sent him says, oh, but wait. So he goes into the reverse warrior and says, yes, what can I do? What is it you need? And he says, things have changed. Come on home. All right, I will. Turns into the star again. Now, you all know I don't have great balance, but we're gonna do the warrior three for him flying home. So, take your feet, line them up, take your breath, get stable. And then, as you start to hinge at the hips and tip, lift your foot as much as you're bending. In other words, don't lift your foot if you can't, or don't bend your body if you can't lift your foot. But you can touch the chair and use it for balance, and then bring your other leg all the way up, even with your body, and you're flying home. Yay. If you can, put your hands out to the front. I have more trouble doing that, so I don't think the energetics make it that much different. And bring your foot back down, and let's go to the other side. So the warrior one, foot closest to the chair, steps back. Give yourself width so that you can come down if you need to. Remember to bend your front leg. You're facing forward. You come up out of the ground and you say, yes, thrusting, reaching. What can I do for you, Lord? And you're in the position of humbleness coming down to listen. Tell me what it is I can do. Come back up. It says, be my warrior. Okay, your front foot can move forward a little bit further. Your back foot turns to the 90-degree angle. You're facing the chair with your hips or with your pelvic floor. Your knee is out over your toes. Your heels are basically lined up. Then your arms can come into it. Take a deep breath and turn your head and look out over that arm. Three breaths here. And then you hear a voice that says, wait, I've changed my mind. Well, what can I do for you now, Lord? I'd like you to come on back home. Okay, I will. Star position. Come to the center. We're going to fly back home. So, get your breath, get your balance. And we're going to lean into the leg closest to the chair, lifting the other leg, bending as much as we can lift our leg. Put your hand on the chair for balance and lift your toes, point them straight back. Lift it all the way up, even with your hip if you can, and fly home. And there we have the warrior series. Then let's take and do a few arch lifts. Just lift up on your toes, heel lifts, I guess. And then come on back to the center. We're gonna do one series, a quick series. I'm gonna turn it of our downward facing dog because I want to show you something. Here, put your hands on the chair as far apart as they can be with your fingers wide spaced, your thumb equally spaced as your fingers. Step back until you're flat-footed. Put your ears even with your shoulders. Drop your shoulders, lift your butt, then straighten your legs. Your feet are hip widths apart. And breathe. Downward facing dog. And we're going to come in. We're going to do our Chaturanga Setup is what I'm going to call it. Your push-up slant in a way. I'm not sure what to call it, but you can see that your body comes out and over your wrists. Your head points forward. You're on your tiptoes. As you're breathing into your belly, and as you exhale, your belly comes in. One more breath here. Come on back up. Space our legs out for a wide-legged downward facing dog. Head between your arms. Lower your shoulders. Stick your butt up and straighten your legs. Don't knock those legs out though. Let them have flexibility. And breathe. All right, now, here's what I want to show you. I want you to drop your hands, walk up here. I'm going to do just a couple of, well, what I really want to show you is how to get up off the ground. And this gives you the learning opportunity. Take your arms straight out, raise yourself up, using your spine, your head being the last thing to come. The reason I wanted to show you this is because I don't know how often this happens to you, but in the past, I would end up on the floor. I used to fall a lot. So I'd end up on the floor and I'd say, I wonder how I'm going to get up. And then somebody, a yoga teacher, showed me the best way for yogis to get up. You turn around, work your way to your knees. I know this is hard if you've had knee surgery and stuff, but this is the way it works. Tuck your toes in the back. See how they're tucked under? Take your hands, make them into fists. Walk back up to your body. Use your upper body and your fists to push up to your feet. And come on back up, with your head being the last thing that comes up. I don't know about you, but that made a world of difference for me. So I wanted to be sure that I included that today, just for the heck of it. Because that's why I get so involved in bringing myself up from the floor, is because it's something that can help us. I remember I fell down in a bead store and I couldn't get myself back up. I was trying to pull myself up. I was trying to work myself up and somebody else was trying to hold me up. It was a mess. And after I learned that particular move about standing up, I have never had a problem since. So I'm hoping from my heart to yours that that helps you in some situation if you ever find yourself in it. So having said that, I've used it up all the time already almost. So let's take a few deep breaths. Okay, one thing I really did like, and I did want to do before we settled completely down, was the arms up, out, up, and down. And let's do a few of these just to get ourselves flexible, open, and our hearts pumping. That's up, out, over, and down. Up, out, over, and down. Let's take two more. Last one coming here. Last one. And then just let your arms kind of finish their movement. And come on back into the mountain pose. Sit up straight. Take your hands, spread them out. All the energy that you just got moving, feel it as your mountain being, who you are, that you're stable, your feet are on the ground. You have abundance of foundation and stability because all of your energy, when you focus it inside of your body, will give you the strength you need. One more deep breath. Okay. And so as much as I really wanted us to do a couple more breath things, it is really getting time for me to shut it down for Shavasana. Not shut it down, but for us to go and bring ourselves back in and come into a meditative pose so that we can integrate our breath, our body movement, and our mind. And that's what Shavasana does. It integrates the parts of your body and brings them together. So let's begin by just taking a couple of our shh sounds, maybe 5, and then begin to just let it go and let yourself close your eyes and come back inside of you and release everything else that's been going on. This is the time to relax. So deep breath in and last one. Now gently start minor movements in your body with your breath. Breathe a little deeper. See what your body needs. Come on back. Let's take a big stretch. Oh. Oh. Maybe lift your leg up and spread it out. Oh. Bring it in. Lift it up. Stick it out. Oh. Just waking back up. Bringing it back in. Take yourself and give yourself a big hug up on top. Bring it down below. Give yourself a hug down here. And then bring your hands and just gently relax. And let's take a deep breath in with a large exhale out our mouth. Next breath, as we exhale, let's chant the sound of Om. Bring your hands together in the prayer position. And let's give thanks and acknowledgement to the one true teacher inside of each of us. The teacher that leads and guides and directs us every moment of our lives. Let's take our love and our kindness and share it with everyone we know today. Take your balance with you. Take your happiness and your open heart and have it be what you are today. And thank you for coming so much. Namaste. Thank you.